This is why your brain is literally wired to blow your account. Now, what do you mean? What do you mean, FT? Well, you didn't lose the money because you're bad at trading. No, you lost the money because your brain did exactly what it's designed to do. Well, just wait a minute. Let's go from it again. Now, here is what every psychological trading video never tells you. In everything that I've watched psychologically, I've never been told this. So, you got to remember that you're not fighting the market. You're actually just fighting yourself and also however many billions of years of evolution there is. And your brain has a reward system built around one feeling, and that's dopamine. Now, here's the part that even surprised me. Dopamine isn't released when you get a reward. It's actually based on how uncertain the reward was or how unpredictable that reward was. Now, I'm going to say it again because that's what the whole video is about. It's the dopamine. So, the dopamine is a prediction signal, not a pleasure signal. When something is like worse than expected, dopamine pauses before firing again. And when something is better than expected, you get a spike. And that's when you get that dopamine effect. Now, let's put that into trading knowledge. What does that mean? Well, think of it like this. A slot machine doesn't pay out every time, right? Now, if it did, you'd get bored in, what, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, right? But the thing is, with a slot machine in the casino, it pays unpredictably. So, each time you pull that lever, loss. Loss. Oh, there's a win, nice! You get that dopamine effect. Now, if you think about it, trading is a slot machine with a terminal attached to it, like a slot, like pretty much like a slot machine. Now, you don't know whether your next trade is a win or a loss, and you don't know whether the next trade is going to be big or small, and that uncertainty in every single trade, whether it's a win or a loss, is hammering away at your dopamine system. Now, what is it hammering away at it with? Well, that's called prediction errors. Now, this is the twist about it, is when you fully learned a skill and performed it correctly, it generates no prediction errors, because there's no dopamine burst and you get no special feeling of reward after it. So it's more just a feeling of calm and boring, and you don't really get anything out of it. Now, one rule to following trading is following the trade that hits your target exactly as planned. Your brain barely reacts, right? Because it feels like, it pretty much feels like nothing has happened. Well, if we go look at a chaotic trade, right? If we look at a chaotic trade where you panicked in one, or you moved your stop, or you doubled down, but then you hit your TP unexpectedly and you randomly get a win out of it, that then suddenly bursts that dopamine, because you're like, oh my god, I didn't expect that. I didn't know that was going to happen. And that's where the uncertainty comes in, right? So, because the uncertainty came in on that chaotic trade, it's where, because you got that burst of dopamine, you start to feel happy again. You start to feel, yes, I'm actually doing well now, because you've got that uncertainty dopamine effect. Now, I'm about to tell you 3 ways that you can actually see this in trading itself. And I talked about this first one in my first psychological video. Revenge trading. If you're new to the channel, what is revenge trading, FT? Well, revenge trading is when you take a loss, and instead of stepping away, you actually immediately take another trade after that one to try and win back what you lost. Now, pretty much, why? Why do you do it? Why do you revenge trade? Well, because you're uncertain of how the next trade's going to go. Will it work? Will it not work? Am I going to get a break even? But is it self-dopamine generating even before you know the outcome? because you're not trading a setup anymore. You're chasing the feeling of uncertainty. You're just trying to chase the feeling of dopamine at this point. Now, number 2 is cutting your wins early. So you're up on a trade. Let's say you're $500 up on a trade, and you close it, and you were aiming for $1,000. You're aiming for 1K, but you close it on 500. Even though you said you were going to let it run, you're pretty much locking the win. You're pretty much locking that win away. You're pretty much getting rid of it. So, stop doing that. Now, this is why knowing all of this stuff isn't enough though, because this is where most psychology videos they just stop and they don't talk about this anymore. Now you know about like majority of the dopamine effect. Go and fix it, because the more you let it hammer away and the more you let it run your account, the worse it's going to get. That's what they say. That is literally what they say, but that is pretty much useless advice because your brain can't stop that. Like, the fix isn't trying to out-willpower your own dopamine system or whatever, because you will lose that fight, and the fix is removing that whole entire decision. Now, this is how we work with the wiring instead of getting destroyed by it. Now, first, pre-committing to your exits before you enter. Now, what I mean by this is write down where you want your stop loss to be, write down your take profit before you click buy or sell. Not in your head, because you can forget it and then you're uncertain. When you know it, you should be getting that dopamine effect off of your setups, not the outcome of money. Now, after every trade, grade yourself on whether you followed your trading rules, or whatever you done, however many stuff you had, and whether it was in session or not, and how your trade went. But don't base it off whether you made money or not, because that's what's not going to better you. Now, a perfectly executed loss on a trade is a win, because a reckless winning trade is also a loss. I mean, you're literally training your brain right now to find a following plan that is satisfying enough instead of only chaos being satisfying. Bear with me. I know guys, just bear with me. Now, install a cooldown. What do I mean? No new trades for a fixed period. I'm saying like 30 minutes or the rest of the day, whatever it is. But this isn't about discipline at the moment. It is a rule made in advance. This makes this takes our dopamine system that is still firing from the loss out of our hands. Now, 4 is keep an emotion tag journal. FT, what do you mean? An emotion tag journal? I already have a journal. Yes, you do, as you should. But don't just log your entries and exits and whatnot, but also log how you felt. So, anxious, bored, excited, sad, angry, depressed, happy, desperate. After that, you'll start to notice after each trade, and maybe after a week or so of trading, you'll notice that patterns start to jump out at you fast. Now, most traders, the vast majority of traders, often find their worst trades to be put around one emotional feeling. Once you see that pattern, you can build something around it to make it stop. Right? This is what I'm going to leave you guys with. Okay? Discipline isn't about feeling like calm when you're actually like live trading and when money's on the line. It's none of that. Nobody feels calm at that moment, because your brain literally won't let you. Discipline is about designing your trading so the decision was already made before the dopamine got to you. The traders who last aren't the ones who don't feel it, but they are the ones who built a system that doesn't need them to win that fight in real time. If this gave you a different way of seeing your own trading, please let me know in the comments. Also hit subscribe, turn post notifications on, and also hit that thumbs up button for some new videos in the future. Along with that, to let me know, with that thumbs up, to let me know whether you like this type of psychological trading videos. Along with that, I will also be breaking down a sort of psychological trap, I guess you could call it, each and every week. Every 1 to 2 weeks, I'll be making a psychological trap video on how you can overcome it, because it might be the exact thing that's wrecking your account right now. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed, hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification button, and smash that fucking like button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.